After the service, I hurried around, but instead of being in bed, you were outside in the yard making yet another, I don't really even know what to call it.
It was an owl, Marius. My first owl.
And it couldn't have waited until after the service, Helen?
Oh, no. It came to me here the night before. They don't last long, Marius. While it was still fresh in my mind, I had to go to work. Because it's hard to remember clearly what you saw. I tried explaining it to Elsa, but how it works, but she didn't know. I don't suppose any of you will ever understand.
No. No, I don't suppose none like me ever will.
But don't ever think that missing church that Sunday was something that I did lightly. You don't break the habit of a lifetime without realizing that life will never be the same again. I was dressed and ready. I had my Bible and my hymn book. I was on the point of leaving this room, as I had done every Sunday for as long as I could remember. But I knew that if I did, I would never make that owl. I think I also knew that if I didn't, that if I put aside my Bible and my hymn book, took off my hat, changed my dress, and went to work. Yes, that was my first owl.
What's going to happen now? I'm going to tell you. But I don't believe it will answer all of your questions. Miss Helen will not sign the paper that Pastor Marius brought to her. She's going to make appointments with doctors, and she's going to try and stay in her home, because that's what she wants. Her friend Elsa will try and help her, and Marius will go back to the church council, and he will tell them that Miss Helen has made her decision. She's going to make more monstrosities, he'll tell them, more creatures in her yard. In real life, the woman Helen Martins, who lived in South Africa and filled her yard with camels and wise men and owls, made over 300 figures out of concrete and broken pots, broken plates, and broken glasses. She decorated the inside of her home with color and design. She painted every wall in her home a different color. And she put geometric patterns on both the floors and the ceilings. Miss Helen did everything she could to be happy, right where she lived. And today, the home that Helen Martins lived in South Africa is a national monument. It's a tourist attraction and a museum. Helen Martins is credited with an entirely new school of art. She became the foremost of those regarded as the outside artists. And there are examples of outside art here in Madison and all over Wisconsin. Every person who uses scraps of metal and ceramic and just plain junk to create imaginative works of art, which means that no matter where we live, all of us can start out on the road to Mecca. Now our play is almost over, and so please allow Miss Helen to tell the truth of her own road to Mecca.
Look, Marius, look! Light! Oh, don't be nervous. It's just that if one little star lights up in here, the dancing starts. I've even taught it how to turn around corners. Yes, I have. When I lie in bed and look in that window, I can see in that one. And when it drives over the Snowberg behind my back, this is my world, and I have banished darkness from it.
Oh, Elsa, how do you play with light, Helen? How? It must be wonderful to play with light.
It's not madness, Elsa. People say that mad people can't tell the difference between what is real and what is not. I can. I know my little Mecca out there, and this room for what they really are.
I love you, Helen. I love your light, and I love the truth of your love.
And I love you too, Elsa, and Marius. I love you, though I don't think that you understand. Maybe I love you because you feel so helpless. I had to learn how to twist rusty wire in my hands to get the right shape, to mix sand cement for my wise men and their camels, how to grind down coffee mill in a coffee mill and to put glitter on my walls. My hands will never let me forget it. They will keep me sane. I had to work hard for my faith. It's the best I could do, as near as I could get to the real Mecca. The journey is over now. This is as far as I can go.
The road to Mecca is a different road for each one of us. Elsa and Marius have traveled theirs, and Helen is well along on her way. And yet for Helen, and for all who travel with imagination and courage, the road to Mecca will never end. One further word. Everything you see here today is essentially the idea of Sybil Robinson that such a thing should be. It was her idea to put this presentation on here, and that suggestion planted in the minds of Alison and myself, and then with the assistance of Tricia and the other staff members here, makes it all possible. The road to Mecca is very, very real, and the thing that makes this play unique is that the line between reality and fiction or drama is very vague, it's very fuzzy, it comes and goes. Sybil Robinson is a living example of what it means to travel the road to Mecca, or the road to any city that you think is where you want to go in your heart and mind. It could be Jerusalem, it could be Philadelphia, it could be Detroit, I don't know. But I want to read you something that Sybil wrote in a writing class that she attended here, that I had a privilege of sitting in on. You've been listening to words that have been adopted from the play by Athol Fugard, who was a South African playwright. But listen to these words, which were written by the woman who's seated before you. It's called Cosmic Kiss. Look, God's painting the sky, cried the 5-year-old, filled with joy at the blazing colors of the setting sun. So was I moved with like wonder when I saw Venus, a sparkling jewel in the night blue sky. For God appears to us in many forms, awakening us to depths of life's unknown, to stirrings of creative yearnings, which, when brought to life, will receive the gift of divine love. We'll gaze with wonder at this creative boon, our hope, our longing, and our soul's delight. Thank you so much. There are refreshments for you to enjoy. We thank you so much for your presence here today. It's a great blessing to all of us. Thank you.
Yes.